talk about a lot of stocks. I know we talked about plug last time, so I think Mayor's going to go over that. Is that right, Mayor?
Yeah.
Okay. So these were three of the stocks that I know we have hit on before, and I have been watching these three. So I am going to just try to find them and see if there's ChargePoint. Okay, does everybody see ChargePoint?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Okay, so last meeting, I'm going to scroll this back to, I think we were here. Last time when we met, that was the first, right? Okay, so this is what ChargePoint looked like last time when we were on. And I had drawn my channel lines right here to try to show how ChargePoint was moving along this. And I was pretty excited about it. It's running right along the top of this channel. And I wasn't quite sure if it was going to continue or not. So one of the things that I did was go back and try to look for resistance. So right here, obviously there's some resistance right there. Let me throw this on here. And I'm going to make it red since it's resistance. All right. So I picked my resistance points based on this last point. It wasn't able to go up there or break out past this point. So that's my line. And you can see the resistance came right here to the top of my channel last week. So that was concerning to me. And that kind of told me like, this stock can do two things. It's either going to crash from here or it's going to break this resistance and start moving up. So it was going to be really interesting to watch on Monday to see how things were going. What I noticed at this time, if you look down here, the stochastics are really high. So this stock is very overbought, right at 91. And you can see the MACD starting to come down, but the RSI is still going up. So that was a positive there. So I wasn't quite sure, but I was really curious to see what would happen. And if we move forward, right, this first day right here, it did break that resistance, which is a great sign. There's a little indecision in this candle where the stock went up, it went and it came back down. So there was a little kind of game between the buyers and the sellers trying to see who was going to do more. Now, at this point, when this stock broke out of the channel and passed this resistance point, it's still not considered a winner in my book right now, because what I want to see is that it has confirmation that it has a follow-on day and that it's going to close above this previous day. And you can see that did not happen. So this stock did not get confirmation and it fell. So that told me this stock is probably going to go back down and remain within this channel. And this resistance line was a good solid line. You can also see when you come back here, there's a little support right here, and you know past support can create future resistance. So that's almost like I've got 3 points right here that are telling me this is a good line and this is a pretty good channel. So if I move forward, let's see, let's get forward to here. So you can see it didn't have that confirmation and it did fall all the way down. It fell below the 10 EMA here. So that's all a bad sign. It even fell below my channel at the bottom here. And you can see the stochastics are starting to come down, right? And how the MAC is still trending down. So now at this point, what I'm trying to decide is this stock still good? It broke my channel right here. So what does that tell me? Do I need to redraw my channel? Maybe I need to do that. Is this as low as it's going to go? So let's say right here it gets support. Let's Okay, luckily that's already green. Okay. So if this is support, is this a valid support line for you right here? If you go back, you can see right here, this was resistance at this point. So past resistance can create support. So that can be a support line for us. That could be good. Another thing that I know, and these numbers right here, last week we talked about the shorting document that Mayor sent out, that we've been able to use that spreadsheet. These are all statistics or percentages from that shorting document. So I was tracking what the shorters were doing these last 2 weeks. So you can see on the 4th, which is I believe this day, right? It's about 50% of the shorters. But as this moves through, the shorting increased, right? 50%, 65, 69, 73. 73% is really high. That's a big chunk. So all of these people need to start covering at some point. So this, as you can see, we get to the 13th, it's starting to come down. So it went from 73 to 63 to 56. So the shorters are starting to go away, and you can almost track how the shorters are increasing. And now they're getting to a point where they're starting to go away because they're going to have to start covering, right? So this could very well be a good support line. Let me see if we change. Wow, that was not what I wanted to click on. Let's get to a year chart. Okay, so here's a year chart, right? If we were to draw a fib on here, say from this high all the way down to our low, I don't think I quite put it on there. Let's see if we can edit that a little bit and move it up to the high. That is super high. Let's try this one right here. Oh, there we go. So if we're tracking this, let's scale back and look at 6 months. All right. So if we look at this wave, and it's not letting me move over. All right, I'm just going to leave it where it is so you guys can see this. But if you put this fib on here, tracking this down wave right here, where's it going to find resistance? And you can see that resistance line right there, which ties up to the resistance line that I drew in there. So anytime you get more than one line or convergence of lines, you kind of get confirmation that that's solid. We also get a support line right here. This is sitting right on top of our green support line. So again, between the 50% and down to the 23%, this could be very good support. And if you want to, now that we have new data points, it's possible the channels change on you, right? So now maybe this is your channel right here, and you can track this back up to this resistance point. So something to just kind of keep an eye on. I know on our final day here, the stochastics before was up around 90%. Now it's down to 9. So we're well below the 20 line, right? So that means it's very oversold, which that's good. So as soon as these stochastics start crossing and moving back up, that's a good thing. The MAC here is still in a downtrend, but watch it and see if it starts to turn around. The RSI has been coming down, but all of these could be getting ready to start shifting, and definitely based on the shorter information starting to turn around. So anyway, I am going to kind of keep watching this stock and see if it has a buy-in point that I'm interested in jumping into. So what else? Let's see. Let's look at Lucid. So this is another one. Let's do this same thing. Draw a price level. Let's get a resistance line in here. So right here, you see it can't go any higher than that, right? So let's make that a resistance line. Turn it red. All right, so we've got resistance. You can almost see back here where the stock was really kind of waffling around right in that same area, and it wasn't able to really break above it with any kind of strength, right? But right here, we found support. It's not going to let me draw that. There we go. Okay. So we've got support here, right? And you can look over here. Is it going to find support again at the exact same location? So kind of looks like it. Let's go back. How far back does this stock go? Are we on a 2-year chart right now? We are on a 2-year chart. Let's see if I can zoom out. So if you look, so we have support here and here, right? It's a little bit lower back here, back here, and back here. So when you look at the history, it's possible this could fall a little bit further, right? But the stochastics, again, are really low, and it looks almost like they're starting to cross. So let's see when we zoom back in. And bring this back over to here. So here's something that we've talked about in the past. We talked about bullish divergence, right? So back here, where we're getting lower lows and lower lows in our price point, right in this sort of time frame here. But you can see down here the MAC, and it's kind of hard to see. I wonder if I can spread this out a little bit. I don't know if that helps. But you can see how the MAC is down here, but it starts to climb, right? So the MAC is kind of on an upward trend while the price is still in a downward trend. So that's bullish divergent, and that's telling us that this stock is going to start having a trend shift. So this may have just been the beginning right here, where it's starting to change over, right? And now it's coming back down again. It's going to test this point, and then watch for confirmation and to see if it continues upward. What are the shorters doing? That always gives us more information, right? You can see back here 2 weeks ago when we looked at this stock, they were at 53% and they were going up. So people were definitely shorting this. They're anticipating it coming down, but the shorters are starting to go away, or at least they're getting a little bit less. The stochastics are just about crossing right there. Looks like they're kind of touching. They're at the 6th line, so definitely below the 20. So again, this stock is looking very interesting. We'll have to see what it does this week, and who knows, it may find support here, get some confirmation, and you're looking at a nice swing trade, even if it's right between these two lines, this support and this resistance right here.
Also, the RSI is pretty flatlined right now, so that's something to look at, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And hopefully, hopefully it'll start trending up for us.
Right, exactly.
That would be great. Let me move to our bros. There we go. I'll do a bros. Okay. So here's bros. We've talked about bros several times in our meetings. And I think there's some more people in it. I've definitely done a swing trade in this one in the past, and I demonstrated that. So, and I think there's actually a video on the YouTube channel on how that went. So BROS has been working out well for me, so I'm still keeping an eye on that. Mayor, I believe you jumped in that one, right? Back on this day. So you can see the channel that I have here. The nice thing about BROS is this is a pretty good spread. You can almost easily make a good 15–20% off of any one of these swings, and it is just warming up to do a swing again. So again, as I pointed out, the stochastics are really low in this. They are starting to cross. You can see the MACD is starting to trend upward, right? So we want to try to see, let's see if I can move. I threw some notes in here. But want to watch for the MAC to cross over this 0 line, which is good. You want to watch your stochastics coming up through the 20. So that's all good. The RSI is trending up. So our volume has been coming down, it looks like, but that's okay, since it's been coming down in price as well. So it does look like we're getting some confirmation. It's finding support right across the bottom of the channel here. And even on this day, we are closing right at the EMA, the 10-day EMA, right? So if this closes above that, we have solid confirmation. This is going to look really good, I would say, and at least to trade back up to this last resistance point. Let's see if we can put a line in here. There we go. So this stock could easily run from here to here. So we're looking at what, 52 to almost 62. There's 10 points right in there. So if anybody's looking for something to jump into, this one's maybe a possibility. Another thing to keep an eye on right here is earnings, and they have earnings on the 10th. We all know that earnings can make a stock do interesting things. So sometimes it falls sharply and sometimes it can go through the roof. So could be good news, could be bad news, but I don't always like to trade during earnings. I'd rather just be out, because I think it's hard to predict. Sometimes earnings are great and it still falls through the floor. So it would be nice if we could get a swing in before earnings come out. Let's see if I can zoom out a little bit with this one and get. He's not happy with me. Trying to move that. I was thinking maybe there isn't a whole lot of data on this one, because it's not that old. This is a 2-year chart, but it only goes back about 6 months. I don't think this stock is very old. But let's just say if we were to try putting a fib on here. All right. Now let's see if we can zoom back in. Oops. And it keeps moving around on me. But if we apply the Fibonacci on there, look where our support line for the Fibonacci falls, right here, which falls in line with the channels, and right where this, let's see, that was on the 11th, where it found really strong support. So this is another positive sign that this stock is going to start moving upward. So with the caveat that anything can fail at any point in time. We do know there's a lot of big news with the war and everything else. So based on the technical analysis that we've done, I like all three of these stocks that we've been looking at. I'm going to be watching them this week. I might possibly jump into them and see where they go. If I do jump into them, though, I am going to create an alert for all of them in case they fail, because all stocks do fail. Well, no matter how much analysis you do, some of them just turn around for various reasons. Stuff happens, bigger picture things happen in the market, and they will drive individual securities down. So that is pretty much all I have on these three. Does anybody have any questions? Or if you have questions and you don't want to shut them out, you can put them in the chat, and I can check on them later and get back to them at the end of the meeting, if that works for everybody. And Mayor, are you ready if I stop sharing?
I am.